There's a question physicists only ask behind closed doors, not because the answer is classified, but because it's too uncomfortable. What was before the Big Bang? The official version says, nothing. Time didn't exist. The question itself makes no sense. But a few physicists found something in the cosmic microwave background. Faint traces, almost invisible. Traces of another world, one that existed before ours. We were told that the Big Bang was the beginning of everything, of time, space, matter. Before it, nothing existed. But there's a problem. That version doesn't hold up mathematically, and physicists know it. They have for a long time. In this video, the full breakdown. What was before the Big Bang? Why official science avoids a direct answer? And which theory is so disturbing that it changes everything you thought you knew about reality? First, let's keep it as simple as possible. The Big Bang is not an explosion in the usual sense. It is not an explosion in space. It is an explosion of space itself. 13.8 billion years ago, all matter, all energy, all time was compressed into a point smaller than an atom. And then, in a fraction of a second, it began to expand. And it is still expanding today. But here is the question scientists avoided for a long time. What was in that point before it began to expand? Where did it even come from? The Standard Model answers simply, time began with the Big Bang. Before it, there was no time. So the question, what was before, is invalid. But that sounds like an excuse, and many physicists disagree with it. And this is where it gets interesting. The first theory, the cyclic universe. What if the Big Bang was not the beginning, but a reset? Our universe expands. But at some point, that expansion will stop, and it will begin contracting back to the same point. And then, another explosion, an endless cycle. No beginning, no end. This is called the Big Bounce model, and mathematically, it works. But there's one problem. If the cycles are infinite, where did the first one come from? That's where things get weird. The second theory, eternal inflation. In the 1980s, physicist Alan Guth proposed that right after the Big Bang, the universe expanded at an incredible speed, faster than light. In a trillionth of a second, it increased in size by 10 to the 26th power. This is called inflation. But here's what the math of this theory implies. Inflation never stops. Nowhere and never. It continues forever, in other regions of space, constantly creating new universes, one after another, infinitely. Our universe is one of countless bubbles in this eternally boiling ocean of space. This is called the multiverse. But that is not even the strangest part. Because if the multiverse exists, then before our Big Bang, there was already an infinite number of other universes, which means there was never really a beginning. But there is a third theory, and it is the most unsettling. In 2001, physicist Roger Penrose proposed something that at first sounded insane. He called it conformal cyclic cosmology. The idea is this: the universe does not simply expand and contract, it passes through eras. At the end of each era, all particles lose mass. Time stops making sense. The universe forgets its size. And at that moment, a vast, cold, dying universe becomes mathematically indistinguishable from a tiny hot point. A new Big Bang, no break, no pause, just the next era. And here is the most frightening thing about Penrose's theory. Traces of the previous universe should be visible in ours, in the form of faint concentric circles in the cosmic microwave background, the leftover light from the Big Bang. In 2010, Penrose claimed. He found them. This caused a huge scandal in the scientific community. Some said yes, the circles are there. Others said it was random noise. The debate is still not settled. But think about that for a second. If Penrose is right, then in the cosmic background radiation we observe every day, messages are encoded from a universe that existed before ours. We are looking at the remains of a world that no longer exists, and that world was itself created by the world before it. And now, the most uncomfortable question. What if before the Big Bang, there was not just a different time, but different laws of physics? Physicist Lee Smolin proposed that each universe is born with slightly altered constants: the speed of light, the force of gravity, the mass of the electron. A little different, and stars won't form. Atoms won't assemble. Life becomes impossible. We live in one of the universes where everything happened to work out. But before it, there were universes where nothing worked out. Empty, dead, vanished without a trace. Now, the most disturbing fact. We cannot look beyond the Big Bang. Physically. Not because we lack the technology, but because information from there was destroyed by the expansion process itself. This is called the cosmological horizon. Everything before it has been erased, like data on a disk that has been overwritten. We live inside an information bubble. Beyond its edge, there is nothing we can see. Ever. But here is what physicists have realized recently. Even if another universe existed before the Big Bang, it left a trace. Not in the form of images, not in the form of particles, in the form of gravitational waves. Gravity is the only thing that can leak through the Big Bang, because gravitational waves interact with space differently than light or matter. In 2015, we detected gravitational waves for the first time. It was a revolution. But the next step is to learn how to read in them information about what came before. And that is what is being worked on now. Right now. Literally. If this succeeds, for the first time in history, we will receive a signal from beyond the horizon of the Big Bang. A message from a universe that no longer exists. And here's what won't leave you alone. What if the answer is already there? What if someone, or something, from that universe left a message, intentionally, knowing that the next universe would one day learn how to read it? Think about it. You are sitting here, watching this video, in a specific point in space and time. But this space and this time may not be the first. Before them, there was different space, different time, different stars, different planets, maybe different life. And all of it disappeared, without a trace, without memory, without the ability to pass anything forward. Except for one thing, the very fact that the next universe exists, because it was their death that gave birth to our life. We are the children of worlds that no longer exist, and one day, our universe will die too. It will expand to the limit, cool down, fade out. The last star will burn out in 100 trillion years. The last black hole will evaporate in 10 to the 100th years, and absolute darkness will come. Absolute cold, absolute silence. But maybe, by laws we are only beginning to understand, that silence will become a new point, a new explosion, a new universe. One that will never know about us, just as we know nothing about those who came before us. The question is not what was before the Big Bang. The question is whether there was even a before, or whether time is just a circle, one that has neither a beginning nor an end.